Welcome back. Glad to know you're still with us. You're still watching NTV Weekend Edition. Now, with the Non-Aligned Movement Summit set to start on Monday, the government has been keen to ensure the delegates arriving for the meetings experience authentic Ugandan cuisine. Now, this refers to organic foods. However, Ugandans are wondering how to make an impact on the meeting with this type of food. One person who is in the thick of things in this regard is Chariton Namoza, the Chief Executive Officer at the National Organic Agriculture Movement of Uganda. Good evening and thank you for joining us on Talk of the Nation.
Thank you very much, Susan, and thanks for hosting me again.
Okay, so talk to us about how you plan to make authentic Ugandan cuisine shine.
First of all, I would like to make it very clear to Ugandans and the viewers out there that we are hosting two big summits with a membership of 134 countries associated with a group of 77 plus China, and 120 countries under the membership of the Non-Aligned Movement. And so more than half of the globe is here, convening in one place, one country. And this is a golden opportunity for us, and especially those of us in the agribusiness industry, to showcase the excellent organic agricultural products that we have. And you might be aware that Uganda is the country with the second highest number of certified farmers in the whole world, and the largest on the African continent. And we cannot do much. The story of these two summits cannot be complete without mentioning the fact that we are home to some of the finest organic products. Okay. And that is one reason we should really be deeply concerned about these two summits. And a second one relates to the investment opportunities, because these countries, of course, have business people. They come as markets, market opportunities. So we've got to tap into these opportunities. And more than just serving the organic foods in the hotels that will be hosting these delegates, we need to close deals with these delegates, because we always export these products, but look, the people that buy them are coming here. But also when you look at the objectives of these, for instance, the Non-Aligned Movement, one of the things they are pushing is trade, south to south cooperation. And as you know, we have traditionally aimed at the EU and American and the other markets, but there is a clear opportunity in promoting the South-South cooperation through trade. Okay. Yeah.
Now, like you clearly stated that Uganda is a home to a vast and so many organic foods.
Yes.
In regards to NAM, what some examples of the organic foods that we'll be showcasing?
Yeah. Some of our foods, fruits and vegetables, cannot be compared to any. For instance, I'll tell you, our pineapple is the sweetest in the world, and so is the apple banana, the sweetest in the world. You will taste other bananas if you've been around the world. You'll attest to the fact that our fruits and vegetables are very delicious. Okay. And these are some of the products that these delegates would be happy to eat. But we also have a whole range of foods like cassava, potatoes, banana. All these can be served, but also traded. We have spices, a whole range of spices, from ginger to cardamom, black pepper, chili, and so many others. Oil crops, we have sesame, sunflower, and others that can also be processed into oils for cooking and many other purposes, cosmetic purposes. We also have sugar, organic sugar. We have big organic projects here that are focusing on sugar. So all these, and I could go on and on and on. We have a whole range. Okay. We have over 100 products that are certified to international standards.
Okay. Yeah. And also, like you mentioned, that Uganda is the second country with the largest number of certified farmers and organic farmers, and on the continent we take the lead.
Yes.
So are we going to be sourcing these organic foods from those certified farmers to showcase at the NAM Summit?
As a matter of fact, we're in touch with some of the hotels that will be hosting the delegates, and a case in point is Hotel Africana that hosted our National Organic Week last year, and they've made it a point to prepare or source some of these, organic foods from the farmers that are certified organic. And I believe, and this is the message I would like to put across, all the hotels and restaurants and eco-lodges and all the places where these delegates will find time to visit even after the summits, we would like to appeal to them to, source these certified organic products. I think the best that we could do for our delegates is to serve them the best of the organic foods that we have. And these could only come from the certified organic farmers, for starters, because there is a clear system which requires them to comply with the quality requirements and the standards, and therefore there would be no worry whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you also did mention that Uganda has been exporting the organic products for quite some time now. Could you kindly highlight to us some of the challenges being experienced by dealers, in expanding Uganda's exports of organic products?
Since 1993, when we had the first certified organic project in the northern part of Uganda, specifically Lango, with cotton and chili, with one organic export project, we now have over 77 projects, exporters. And over the years, we have seen our volumes grow from, a very, very small quantity, and the value grow from, a small value now to over, close to $160 million US. And we expect this to grow over the next 12 months by 40%, and the trend will continue. Now, the point I would like to make here is that we as a country have a clear opportunity, but at the same time, there are some challenges. A clear opportunity to grow our industry, but the challenges that we must address, which obviously sort of present themselves as a song because we constantly talk about them. The cost of certification, for instance, where for you to attain international certification, you've got to pay a lot of money. But the opportunity is that we have another form of certification, which is the participatory guarantee system that requires the participation of the producers, plus the local leaders and the extensionists and the buyers. And in this case, the delegates, for instance, of the G77 and NAM summits can be part of that system, especially if you're talking about Africa, for instance. But the other challenge is that our production and productivity is still low, because many of the farmers that we have are cultivating small pieces of land, and the culture of using improved, certified, genuine inputs is low. And here, again, as I said, the opportunity is that Uganda is home to some of the best manufacturers of organic input. So now these farmers need to move from a point where they are, practicing their traditional farming, practices, to where they can apply these genuine, effective, and yet affordable organic inputs, fertilizers, pesticides, fungicides, and probiotics for animal, increased milk production, egg production, for fish, and many others. The other challenge relates to the limited processing and marketing infrastructure, where I think, and this is where, of course, I make an appeal to government and the investors that are coming here, we need to pay attention to the fact that for us to offtake, to procure, to purchase the materials that are produced by the farmers, we need to invest in, increased processing and marketing infrastructure. We need to set up processing zones. We need to work with the private sector to increase the processing capacities of the different, commodities. We need to work a lot around our roads, warehousing facilities, logistics, and many others that define how much we can trade. The other challenge that I would like to point out is that we need to strengthen our regulatory environment. And as the president of the African Organic Network, heading the organic movement on the African continent, I would like also to mention that countries in Africa, if we are to benefit from meaningful trade, we've got to pay attention to issues of certification and standards, and that comes with stronger, a stronger regulatory environment.
Okay, and that brings me to the next question. In your view, do you think we should consider an organic law to address some of these challenges and also perhaps protect budding innovators?
A very important point, because in 2019 our government approved the National Organic Policy, but to operationalize this policy and to put into action the agreed things that we need to do, we've got to enact a bill, and a bill that should go to Parliament for immediate approval, because there is no doubt that this bill or a law is critical, and that will catapult us to greater heights, because there are things that we cannot do without a law. I mean, as you know, a policy is just, someone has several said, a light law. It only shows us the direction we should take. But in terms of putting into action what we've agreed, we require, an effective regulatory environment, and that's why a law is critical.
Okay. Yeah. So the president has on a number of occasions called on to farmers to, consider value addition, and in that regard, what are some of the new innovations you see, products and technologies within this sector, the organic sector?
Over the years, and I've been associated with organic industry for close to 20 years, I have observed an evolution from being a country that exports predominantly raw, unprocessed products, to now excellent processed or value-added products. We have quite a number of projects now. For instance, we have a state-of-the-art project in Nakasongola, which the president visited recently. They are adding value to our pineapples, our passion fruit and mango, including the indigenous mango that would ordinarily go to waste. They are converting it into pulp, which is being sold locally to Coca-Cola and Britannia, but also exported to the Middle East and Europe. So you can see, and the quantities that go into these facilities are huge. Another example is sunflower oil, soybean oil, and many of these oils that come from the raw materials that we exported largely in raw form. And now there is need, and these are just examples that I'm giving, there are many others that I could give, but these are just examples to show that as a country we can actually invest in processing and target the different markets, and that would help us fetch a lot more and at the same time guarantee a market to the farmers, because one of the reasons that limits farmers from participating in especially trade is because sometimes there is no guaranteed market. You remember a case, I think that was about 1990 something, where we had some promoters of moringa. And it was clear moringa was a great product and with all these benefits, but there was no clear plan of how they would, bulk the moringa that the farmers would produce, and then, add value and sell.
Okay. Well, as you give us your parting shots, deliberate on actions that you can recommend around marketing and consumption of organic foods as we finalize this.
Yeah, first of all, permit me to deliver the message that was passed to me by the actors in the organic industry in Uganda, but also the African continent, to tell or request our president and our leaders, the Speaker of Parliament, the Deputy Speaker, the ministers, the Prime Minister, all members of Parliament, and everybody that will be part of these two summits, to have a clear message that emphasizes the fact that Uganda is home to a broad range of excellent organic products. And I would like to highlight the fact that we have a strategic plan that is that has clear objectives, increasing research, doing everything possible to invest in processing and marketing, and of course mobilizing the farmers and integrating them in the different export and domestic value chains.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chariton Namoza, the Chief Executive Officer at the National Organic Agriculture Movement of Uganda. And that conversation takes us in for a short break. When we return, we'll hear from the world of sport.